We are no strangers to arcade games on this channel. I've reviewed the arcade 1-up replica arcade cabinet, the full size, well, almost full size, it's 3/4 size. We've reviewed the little desktop size ones. We reviewed the little micro ones that were like this big. Now we're going to review ones that are the size of a credit card. So yeah, these are dusty from my humidifier. But also, yeah, these are another option to go with in the whole mini arcade game lineup. And their gimmick is that they're not as thin as a credit card, but they're pretty darn close. Depending on your wallet, you might even be able to fit it in a credit card slot. And each one's got different games. This one's got Galaga. This one's got Tetris. And this one has Dig Dug. I've seen ones that are labeled as Atari Collections, where you might get two games like Centipede and Missile Command, and another one might have like Millipede and Combat. But there's a bunch of different ones. What I also like about these compared to all those other ones is they have rechargeable batteries built in. You might have noticed the micro USB ports. So yeah, you plug them in, you give them a charge, and the batteries in these things last freaking forever. I mean, I topped up all their batteries just to make sure none of them would die during the recording of this video, but I've never had one die. They just last forever. So that is a huge plus. I do have to eventually think about the fact that I have all those mini arcades on a shelf. Most of them have batteries in them, and they are ticking time bombs and will probably leak and cause destruction to the arcade cabinet itself. But we're not going to think about that right now. Always remove your batteries before storing your electronics. Let's see. What order should we do these in? You know what? Let's start with Tetris, the blue one. So I hope I'm not hitting against the mic wire. Okay. So yeah, closer look at one. It's, screen, buttons, port, branding. What do these go for? These go for, I've seen anywhere from $15 to $20 for one, so I don't know, a little pricey in my opinion, but it is what it is. Let's go ahead and fire it up. Bring it on closer. What were the options? Sound volume. Oh yeah, because the only hardware switch for volume is on or off. So it's nice to see you can actually adjust the specific volume. Hard drop, where you could just hard drop. Oh, I see. It's highlighting it if it's on or off. Okay, I see what they did. High score list. This high score list is completely useless because when you power it off, all the high scores erase. So I don't really see the point of that. Anyway, play. Okay, come on. Jesus Christ. I forgot about the sound. Listen to that. Okay, we're going to turn that off. So yeah, I mean, it's got the Tetroid. What the heck kind of game is that? It's got the Tetris theme. Yeah, fine, sure, but it's playing it through a piezo speaker, which is... It's barely even a speaker. A piezo speaker is basically a sheet of foil with two wires attached to it, and it can only make one note at a time, and it really doesn't sound all that too darn great now, does it? Let's go ahead and... Is it still... No, when the music doesn't loop, okay? When the song is done once, then it's sound effects only. And I'd say the sound effects are tolerable. It's when you hear a piezo speaker try to do a song, it makes you feel kind of sick. I'm not even trying, plus I'm playing through a viewfinder. Hey, I already scored a Tetris. I'm doing fine, alright? But yeah, it's Tetris. Not really much effort in terms of the graphics. So, I mean, the blocks are all solid colors. No outlines on them. Nothing like that. The background is solid black. It doesn't save your high scores. It can't even save game progress. So if you're on a good high score run and you want to save it for later, let me turn it off, turn it back on, and oh, no, it's gone. So are all your scores, and yeah, you're back at the beginning. No progress saving, bare minimal graphics, atrocious sound. Well, at least got a rechargeable battery. Maybe the other two can save us. Spoiler alert, they're kind of just the same. Let's see. You know what? Let's do Galaga. No, Dig Dug. I don't know why I'm thinking about it so hard. Let's just turn it on. There we go. There's Dig Dug. What the heck was that? Jesus. Oh my god, the sound. It's just... It sounds like a Tiger Electronic. It's no better than a Game & Watch. Wow, we're turning the sound off on that. Yeah, it's, again, a piezo speaker, so the sound is abysmal. The sound's not even accurate. It's not even trying to sound like the Dig Dug theme. It's literally just random beeps. They might as well have just the sound effects and nothing else. Forget the music. I mean, if you're not going to do any better on the hardware. But yeah, it's just sad. The graphics aren't terrible for what it is. It's a smaller screen, but you can tell what's going on. You have no doubt in your mind that, hey, it's a Dig Dug game. But yeah, it suffers the same fate too, where it doesn't save your high scores. Watch, see that high score 1050? I'll turn it off and back on. High score 0. Okay, I know the original arcade games didn't save your high scores. If there was a power outage or someone unplugged the cabinet, boom, the high scores are gone. But this is the year 2022 now. These were made, I think these started coming out in 2019. Why can't you save the score? We have the technology to save data to... Jesus, I just don't get it. It honestly baffles my mind. Well, all right, I'm going to be honest. I saved the worst for last, and let me show you why. I'm just going to turn it on. This is going to make me sad. Wow. Where do I start with that? So that was, of course, the unmistakable jingle of when you start a Galaga game. At about half the speed, played through a piezo speaker. Now look at the gameplay. Look how choppy and grid-like... Shut up. Look how choppy and grid-like the movements are. Nothing is fluid at all. It's almost Game & Watch predictable, because you know how Game & Watch, everything's on a grid, everything's in a segmented, predetermined sheet of animations. Oh, boy. This is, yeah. Again, I get it. It's a mini form of Galaga that you could take on the go, but we have the technology nowadays to put a full-functioning Galaga game in here. But the problem is, these companies, sometimes they just don't care. They put in... It auto shut off. They just put in the bare minimum of effort because they know it'll sell. Because, ooh, look, it got that there Galaga name on it there, don't it? This will sell like hotcakes for what the nostalgia and what have you. And then you buy it and you're just disappointed. What do they care? At that point, they already have your money. Now, in case you're wondering, like, you know, maybe the technology can't get better in this form factor. You know, maybe this is the bare minimum that they could do in here. That's incorrect, and let me prove it to you. We're going to go back a little bit. I brought one of these back out. Yes, I already did a whole video on these, but I wanted to show them again for comparison's sake. If we go ahead and turn it on, this is one of the ones I modified where the flash chip inside, it actually has a bunch of different games in it, and I wired the joystick to boot up certain games when I turn it on. Which one was Dig Dug? Did you hear that? That was actual sound. Wait, hold on. It's the actual Dig Dug theme. And I'm just going to bring this away from the camera so you can hear me better. The game in here is exactly the same as this handheld. It's the exact same game, but with an actual speaker. And the guts inside of this thing, I've taken it apart to mod it. The guts don't take up the inside at all. All the guts are on the back of the screen, and that's basically it. You got your... Shh, for 2 seconds. Shh, I'm trying to explain something. Yeah, it's got the real sounds. It's the exact same game that's in here. It can be done. Why can't you put just a regular speaker in here? You got to settle for the piezo speaker, and let me just show you Galaga. It's got that in here too. Hold on. Listen. Now, it's the same choppy game that the handheld has, but it's got actual audio, actual music from the game. Does it have the ship exploding? Let's see. Well, it's not the same explosion sound effect, but it's a real sound effect, and it's got the Galaga theme song and the tractor beam. It's got all the same Galaga. Okay, now you're probably thinking, like, well, what are you complaining about? How come you like this? Because it's the same choppy gameplay as the handheld, which you hated so much. Right, but these, in my opinion, are meant to be more collectible than anything. Obviously, this form factor is not something you're supposed to play with long term. Look at your hands. Look at your fingers, the way they have to wrap around it like some sort of fleshy spider that likes old arcade games from the 80s. This isn't meant to be played long term. This is meant to be, oh, here, come over here, Brad. I want to show you this game I got on my desk here, my work desk. You know, I have a fully working Galaga game. It'd be like what the real arcade games were like in the past, with the cabinet and the marquee, and it's even got the music, you know? Wow, that's cool. It's like the original. That looks neat. And that's all it's really meant to be for the most part, is to look neat. You can play it, but it's not really meant to be played. Here, this is inviting long-term gameplay. This has a full control pad, a full decent D-pad, and they're very clicky, very nice. 2 action buttons, even though you only need 1. I mean, it's obvious they reuse shells, same buttons. But this is a form factor that says, hey, sit down for at least 15-20 minutes and give this a go. See what kind of high score you can get. It's playable. Look at these nice buttons. But we have the same terrible gameplay as this, which it doesn't matter as much because this isn't meant to be played as long. I guess that's my rant. I mean, look, it's totally fine for companies to hop on the nostalgia bandwagon, but don't insult us by doing it absolutely wrong in every way, shape, or form. Don't get these. I still see these going for full price on places like Amazon, $15, $20, maybe even a little more if it's one that's not really in circulation. Don't buy these. Honestly, you're better off with these. They look way cooler. You can display them. You could use them as a keychain if you're some sort of narcissist and you like being mean to yourself. Just get this. Or better yet, get one of the medium-sized desk toy ones that I've reviewed, or get a full-size arcade one up. Don't get those. That is my rant. Hey, I don't like all forms of nostalgia tickling goodness. If it's bad, I'm gonna hate it. And if I hate it enough, I'm gonna make sure I tell you guys about it too, so you don't buy them. Well, until next time, seems this was a video that Sammy didn't join us for. Maybe that's for the better. Or it's probably just because we didn't have any food in this video. Oh well, goodbye everybody.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Huge shout out to the people listed here. These are the Patreon supporters that allow me to keep doing what I do on YouTube. Wouldn't be able to do it without you guys. There's a Discord server in the description if you want to join there. And on Twitch, I stream every week on Tuesday. Come hang out with us.